Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Mindshare Podcast. The show is sponsored by Kits Keep in Touch Systems, a two-time international award-winning marketing suite for sales professionals. Gree Media, Ontario's premier social media management, marketing, and content creation company. And REM Real Estate Magazine, Canada's premier monthly magazine for real estate professionals. Be sure to check out our sponsors and what they have to offer on my site, mindshare101.com. And a big thank you to start off today. We've been seeing a big push from our listeners to leave a review about the show, and it is so awesome to see such positive feedback. You are what fuels me to keep this going, and your reviews mean the world to me. If you haven't yet, could you please take a moment to rate and leave a review of the show? You can either go directly to iTunes, directly to Spotify, or you can click this link, ratethispodcast.com/mindshare101. And you can't actually click it because I just said it to you, so you'd have to type it in, but you got it. ratethispodcast.com/mindshare101. And as an added little bonus, your name will be entered into a draw to win some free Mindshare 101 swag. Now, speaking of reviews, our one-to-one coaching is making such an impact for so many people. And to start off the year, I am pumped. Katrina says, I got over my fear of calling, and I feel so amazing because the conversations are so good, and I'm creating so many new opportunities. Corey says, my mindset is so strong, and I am driven to succeed. And Kelsey says, through the time management process we've put in place, I'm filling out my planner on a daily. I'm putting off less and getting so much more done. Look, life is complicated. It's busy, and it's never going to stop. I mean, it'll stop one day, but you know what I mean. But that's why our one-to-one coaching is the answer you're looking for. We help you manage all of it, and we're right here by your side to help you get to where you want to go, to help you get it all done, to help you feel and be in even more control. Learn more about our one-to-one coaching by visiting my site, mindshare101.com, and clicking on Coaching. Today's episode is number 216. And just like that, January is done. Oh my God, like go figure. We were what, like middle of 2022 just yesterday, like sort of getting ready for, the summer to end, moving into the fall market, all of a sudden winter and the holidays. Next thing you know, 2023 is like right here. And now we're literally 31 days past it. And depending on when you listen to this episode, I mean, you might be even like 40 days past it, maybe 45 days past it. And I got to tell you, January was absolutely amazing. I crushed so many of my goals. I mean, look, here, let me check this out for a second. When I look at some of the stuff I did, I'm not going to give you the income stuff and some of the other coaching stuff and speaking stuff. But I mean, look, one-to-one coaching is off the hook in an amazing way. People are booking like crazy. There is so much impact going on for people. I am, for us, obviously, when we're trying to do more business, trying to do more sales, one of the things we're looking at is our metrics around, coaching and speaking and how many bookings we're doing. And just like you're looking for deals, you're looking for new opportunities, right? So we're always looking at am I making progress? We're making so much progress. And as much as that excites me, what excites me even more is to watch the progress that the people that we're working with are making for them. Because that's why we're doing it. Now, yeah, no bullshit. Of course I'm doing it to put food on the table. That said, I'm doing it because I truly, truly enjoy watching people succeed, being part of their success, helping them get there, helping them figure something out that maybe they didn't know what to do. And I mean, hey, isn't that like a core fundamental when it comes to sales? Digging for the need, trying to satisfy that need, helping people achieve what it is that they want, being the person on the other side that gets to do that. I don't know. I find that incredibly empowering. And I would encourage you to try to find that exact same, motivation for yourself around, what drives you and why you're in what's called a people business, right? In any type of sales business, it's a relationship thing. It's a people thing. Anyhow, I get super, super pumped, but I'm not going to share those numbers with you because that's none of your business, right? But I will say to you, I will share this with you. When I go down to the personal stuff, date night. Yeah, that's right. I got date night in my goals. And as you're laughing right now, if you work with me, you understand how important that is, right? But if you don't work with me yet, you might be sitting there going, really, you track that? And I'll tell you, Jennifer's not a fan of it either. I mean, she wasn't up until a point. She's the converted now. Because there used to be a time where like we'd go for date night and I'd come home and, you know, at some point, be it that night or the next day, I'd open up my goal sheet and I'd like mark it in, like I got a date night done. And I remember one time she turned to me and she's like, you only put it in date night. And she doesn't really sound like that, but you only put it in, like you only do date night so you can mark off your goals. I'm like, no. I do my goals so that I'll get date night done. Put that in perspective. See, if I don't track it, I don't realize where I'm failing. When I do track it, oh boy, could I either see that I failed or I completely succeeded. And well, hey, I'm proud to say that January was exactly that for me. I was looking at my goals, noticed that I had put down, and this is easy, right? But put down 12 date nights for 2023. And look, I mean, if you take that and put that in perspective for just a quick moment, okay? And you really put that in perspective, and you think 12 out of 365 days, you only put 12? Like, why wouldn't you do more? Yeah. There's something called real life. There's something called kids. There's something called business. There's something called real life. Right? Like, seriously, though, it's legit. How much time, if you've got a young family at home, and if you don't, you got like no excuse to not be doing this stuff, right? But how much time do you really have to go just you and maybe your partner to just spend time, the two of you? We all know it's few and far between. Life is busy. And so, yes, I mark it down on the goals and I make it a point to do it. And in fact, I will say that just, 2 weeks ago, and again, I don't know when you're listening to this, but midway through January, celebrated my birthday, which was, just whatever, one of those milestones. But from there, Jennifer and I decided, it was like, what do you want to do to celebrate? And of course, outside doing cake and coffee with my family and doing a little bit of that stuff, my sister coming over, my brother-in-law, my niece and nephew, and, just the little things. What were Jennifer and I going to do? And I decided, and this is kind of strategic here, but I decided I'm going to use, the opportunity to celebrate with Jennifer to, instead of going out with, no offense, friends, but our friends, to just go out her and I. Because admittedly, as much as I set the exact same goal in 2022 of doing 12 date nights, as we got to our year end and I was going back through all of my goals for 2022, and in fact, I'm going to pop that right now. Let's see. Let's check this out. Date night in 2022, right, just as I remembered it. I put down a goal of 12. I accomplished 7. Now, on one hand, if you look at the glass half full, you could say, hey, you did more than half. Good for you. Pat on the back. And it's better than 0. So I gotta take some of the reward there and just enjoy that. But much the same, if you look at the glass half empty, I failed. I did not accomplish what I set out to do. And whose fault is that? That's right. It's mine. Mine and only mine. Did I dedicate my time? Did I actually block it? Did I actually make a point to make this happen? Or did I kind of, sort of look at it and kind of make anything else in life more important? And that might sound harsh, like I made things more important than my wife. It's maybe coming across a little more harsh than it actually is meant to be. But it is reality. And it's the way I want you to think about everything that you're setting out to do this year. Right? How did it go for you? What are you up to? Have you stayed on track? And so again, part of it for me was getting this date night done. And so, yes, we decided to go out together. And, we rented a hotel and we went downtown. We left the kids with a cousin and we got a beautiful dinner. Woke up the next morning, went for a walk, didn't even have to get in the car, went for a walk to the St. Lawrence Market. Anybody who's in Toronto or maybe knows the Toronto area, St. Lawrence Market is this old place that, anyways, if you haven't been there, you got to experience it. It's a very cool spot. So if you're not Canadian, if you're not from Toronto, I encourage you that when you come to Toronto, check out the St. Lawrence Market. For those of you that are aware, then you know what I'm talking about. But here was us, like beautiful, beautiful evening with an amazing dinner. Some, just time to her and I. We walked around the hotel, walked downtown and just saw the sights. And, the next morning, again, went for a nice walk. Like, we don't get to do this stuff often, wrapped up with our kids and wrapped up in sports and wrapped up in work. And we got to just be Dave and Jen. Like the two people that met, some 20 plus years ago. We got to be us. Had a coffee, had breakfast, did a little grocery shopping while we were at the market, which again, if you've been there, you'll know what I'm talking about. But that was amazing. And that was special time. And again, I'm bringing that up because, and I'm using date night as an example, but this could be anything. Okay. And so far, by the way, as I'm out on this, this course of, 12 date nights this year, well, guess what? January, check, done. In the books, accomplished. Pat on the back to yourself, David. Are you laughing? But it's true. Nobody else is going to give me a pat on the back. Nobody else is going to say to me, great job. So I set a goal. I accomplished the goal. Had an incredible time. Went back into my goal sheet and marked down that I accomplished the goal. And listen to me talk about it. I'm pumped. I feel good. I feel accomplished. And talk about the feeling. That's why we track the goals. Okay, from a workout perspective, I set out to work out 260 times this year. That breaks down to 21.67 workouts in a month. Yes, do the math. 260 divided by 365 will give you 21.67. Well, again, as of today, and I'm recording this right now on January 31st, we did not do a live show this week. But as of today, I am at 26 workouts over the past 31 days, and that includes doing one today before I recorded this. 21.67 was the goal. I'm at 26. You think I feel good? Damn right I feel good. Step on the scale, lost a few pounds, feel good. Read books, I have a goal. And I talk to you all the time. I've said this to you so many times before. Don't just get up today and think about feeding your belly. I want you to get up today and think about feeding your brain. Well, for me, I've got a goal of reading 24 books in a year. Easy math, that is 2 books a month. Well, I am 20 minutes out, and you better believe it. By the time you listen to this episode, that 20 minutes has already been smashed. I've already done it. But I'm 20 minutes out from finishing my 4th book of the month. You see, I've told you many times, right? As a athlete, as a sports coach, as a guy who's, incredibly competitive, when I track my goals or I write down what the goal is, and you know this, right? I quantify the goal, and then I break it down to say, how much of that do I need to accomplish in a day, a week, and a month? Therefore, this year. Well, when I look at that number, I'm thinking to myself, okay, 2 books this month, I'm going for 4. 21 workouts this month, I did 26. I'm just trying to beat myself. And if I constantly work to beat myself, I am constantly going to get better. And I'm going to change that word constant to consistent. And I'm going to add in the importance of discipline. So look, I just spent the last few minutes telling you about, some of my, personal goals, date night, reading books, working out. So I ask you to think about that for you right now. What back in October, if you're working with me, or, November, if you're working with me, or, if you did this in late December, you're probably not working with me because we did this way before that. But when you set out those goals, that stuff that you wanted to accomplish this year, what did you write down? Go ahead and say it out loud. Nobody else is listening to you right now. I can't even hear you. But what did you write down? What was it that you wanted? How much of it were you going for? Why did you want it? And what did you do to accomplish it in the month of January? See, again, you're listening to this in February. January is gone. It's over. Everything that you set out to do that you did not accomplish, it's done. You can't take it back. You can't change it. The only thing you can focus on right now to get to that next level is what you're about to do. It's where you're going this month. So I really want to ask you that question. How did those first 31 days go for you? Do you know what you accomplished? Do you know what you didn't accomplish? And do you recognize that if you didn't accomplish, and I'm talking like, you just didn't put in the effort to get there? Because if you did, that's a different story. If you put in the effort and you just didn't get, let's say you did all the income producing activities you were supposed to do this past month, building the mind share, doing the right things, making the calls, the emails, the social posts, connecting with people, generating new opportunities. If you did all of that, even your follow-up, and you could track that you did what you were supposed to, but you just didn't close the amount of deals or sales that you were looking for, you still have to find the reward in the fact that you actually put in the effort. Because it's that consistency, the effort that you put in over a longer period of time that will bring the rewards. You just can't give up, and you can't think that this is an overnight thing. See, goals are your reason to be productive. They're a reason to continue to look and say, okay, what is it that I'm going to do? Why am I going to do it? What do I have to do? And you always got to think action step, right? Because if you say to me, Dave, I want to lose weight this month or this year, then I'm going to say, what are you going to do to lose that weight? And that, again, could very well include, I'm going to work out more. I'm going to eat better. I'm going to stop, with the alcohol or whatever. But you got to have goals so that they drive you. If I didn't have a goal at date night, chances are I would be so busy that I probably would skip over it. If I didn't have a goal of workouts, I could tell myself that I want to lose weight, but by the end of the year, I'd be right back to where I started the year. No different. And if anything, maybe worse. In this case, no shot that happens. By the end of this year, I'm going to be a different person. I can already see it. I've been consistent since September 1st of going to the gym. 20 plus times a month. Eating better, watching what I eat. Just paying attention to the intake. The amount of water. Why? Because I see my goal every single morning and it tells me what I've got to do to achieve. And I see how much progress I'm making. And that in of itself is empowering. You see the goal, right? And again, I remind you about this. It's the destination. But if you don't have goals and you're not looking at them every single day, and you're waking up and you're just going about your day and you're checking your email, checking your social, and just doing what you think you need to be doing to spend time until the day basically finishes, then that's like you right now driving down the street with a blindfold on. You can't see where you're going. You have no idea where you're going. And quite frankly, you have no destination. You're just driving around aimlessly. The destination's the goal. The scheduling is the navigation. Take your goals, map them into your schedule, and stay focused. That's the difference between what most people don't do and that very small percentage of people who actually achieve. So I take you back once again to the top of January, in fact, to the end of December, and I ask you, when you looked in the mirror, how did you feel? And if you felt like you needed to make a change, then now I ask you, how much of a change did you actually implement over the course of January? And if you're shaking your head right now and you're a little disappointed in yourself, good. I'm hoping that this is the realization that you need right now to pick yourself up and make sure that you are going to kick February's ass. You see, it's incredible, right? Because you probably got up and you probably worked hard. You probably say like, yeah, I connected with people and I made, a few phone calls. But it's incredible how we put so much value on money, but not the same value on time. You know that person who says, hey, have you got 5 minutes to talk? And you're like, yeah, I got 5 minutes. Why do you just have 5 minutes in the middle of your day out of nowhere to talk to this person? Or like, you go for lunch with somebody and you're thinking, okay, I'm going to go for lunch. We're going to, go have lunch, whatever. And 2 hours passes by, maybe a couple beers later or drinks or whatever. Now you're walking out of there. You spent 2 hours. You've got the itis. You're feeling lazy. How productive are you going to be for the rest of the day? See, by recognizing what it is that we want to achieve, and again, going with those goals, mapping those goals into the schedule, now, when it's like, hey, I'm going to go for that lunch, if you had that lunch schedule with that person, maybe hopefully on your contact list, then go have that lunch. But if you know that you scheduled an hour, I want you to remember the idea of realistic time. How long is it going to take you to get there? How long will you actually be there? And how long will it take you to get back from there? Schedule that accordingly. And then don't sit there and go, we'll just sit here for another half an hour, another hour, because it's been so long. Look, yeah, once in a while you can do that. But if you don't map it out and you don't actually schedule that, hey, I'll tell you right now, you're taking away from something else you were supposed to be doing, because we know there is a lot to do in life. Not to mention, you got family, you got personal time. And at some point, the business part of your day is gonna clash with the personal part of your day, and that's where most people feel really frazzled for a second. They go, "Oh my God, the transition of where I'm, what I was doing to where I got to go, and I didn't finish all the stuff I had to do." Well, again, by sticking to the schedule and putting a value on your time the right way, now you're in control. So as we think about an action step here from managing time. The first step is to understand that you cannot manage time. It's not possible. You don't have the big, master clock that just stops the world. And yeah, I know you know that, but I want you to put that in perspective, because the idea of managing time is bullshit. Instead, we've got to empower time to manage us. So step 1 is recognize you cannot manage time. Step 2, list out those goals. Quantify those goals. Step 3, map those goals into your schedule by blocking specific amounts of time to get things done. Could be a 15-minute block, a 30-minute block, a 60-minute block. But when you've got a ton of stuff to do in a day, we've got to ensure that we take the stuff that we've got to do and we map it into the schedule. Think about the realistic time. How long will it actually take? Think about the IPAs, the income producing activities we need to do regardless of how busy we are, so we're always generating new opportunities. And now that they're mapped into the schedule, the next step here is to follow the schedule. So what is that, step 4? Step 3, pardon me? From there, the next step to that is to actually execute on what you set out to do. And then the step after that is to reward yourself for the fact that you did it. And the reward, seriously, the reward is just the acknowledgement that you accomplished it. It's not that somebody's going to run up and give you a cookie. It's not that you got to post it on social media and go, look, I made my calls today. It's not about that, but it's for you. It's about your tracking and your goals to understand that you're getting there. And the more disciplined you are, the more consistent you are, the more you're going to achieve. Focus on you. Think about what's most important to you in life. Is it money? Is it health? Is it family? Is it happiness? Straight up, I'll say it's all of the above. I love money. I'm not lying about that. I'm not going to hide that. Oh, but it's not really good to say. You got to be out there, No, no, no. I want to make money. I want to make a shit ton of money. Why? Because the more money I have, and that's just life, the more money I've got, the more time I can take to focus on my health, the more time I can take to focus on my family, and well, ultimately, the happier I will be. Again, I love what I do, and I feel fortunate to do what I do. I'm grateful that I get to be here with you right now. You have no idea. And I'll continue to do this no matter how much money I have, because that's how much I love it. That said, all those little odds and ends of other stuff that gets done in a day that takes up time, because that's just work life. Hey, if I could delegate that to other people, and there's a lot that we already delegate. We've got an incredible team. I'm grateful. If I could delegate most of that stuff and spend more time just hanging with my kids and my wife and riding my Harley and playing sports and being with the rest of my family, focusing on me and my health, come on, who wouldn't want that? The thing is, though, when we think about those things and we think about what's important to us, the thing that we always happen to leave out, which is just this like natural addiction for everybody, is these stupid distraction devices. Let's call them smartphones. All they do is take us away from what we want to achieve. Like, seriously, okay? You listen to this podcast right now, and maybe you're multitasking. And I love the fact that you're here. So I'm not going to tell you what to do while you listen. But I would say that if you take all of this in and you actually pay attention to what I'm saying, you actually implement what I'm giving to you right here, right now, you will achieve more than if you didn't pay attention, or you didn't take the notes, or you didn't implement. But here's the extension of that thought now. You've got these goals, you know what you want to achieve, yet all of a sudden, this freaking thing goes off, little bing, and we decide, you know what, I'm going to pick it up and look at it. You know what you just said to yourself when you do that, especially when it wasn't, ultimately when it wasn't scheduled in your schedule? You know what you said? You told yourself, and whether you believe or agree with this statement or not, the reality is this is what you did. You told yourself that little ding from wherever it came from, whether it was a stupid notification from Twitter that doesn't even have anything to do with you, or it was an email that went off for somebody responding to you about something that wasn't like an emergency. You told yourself that notification is more important than you are to you. Think about that. That distraction that just came through that phone is more important to you than you achieving what you ultimately want, than you when you look in the mirror about your happiness. Yeah. Blunt and simple. That's exactly what's going on. Because then we turn around and we go, but I'm so busy and I never have enough time. Sure. The average person spending 3 hours a day on social media. I was just reading a book and I heard that apparently we check this thing every 20 minutes. Every 20 minutes we look down at this phone to look at our notifications. And the extension to that? The advertisers are controlling all of it. The social media, the apps, they're controlling us. And this is some conspiracy theory. None of that stuff. I'm not going there. What I'm saying to you is this. Think about it. The app sells placement to the advertiser. The app tells the advertiser, we get this many impressions. We have this many eyeballs. This is how much time people are spending on us. So you should advertise and spend your money with us. Then the advertiser go, okay, we'll spend our money with you because apparently you got a lot of people. So what does the app do? The app then injects steroids into their application and says, we're going to pump out even more notifications. We're going to tell you about shit that doesn't even involve you, doesn't matter to you, has nothing to do with you, but we're going to do it so you get a notification. Because we know that you are so addicted to our application, you are so addicted to looking down at your phone, that it is that easy to take you away from focusing on you and making you focus on us. That's truly what's going on. You see, so You've got to remember that the person in the mirror is the most important person in your world, and you have to do everything you can to make sure that that person is in their most optimal state. Locked and loaded, focused, disciplined, hard to take down. And what I found for myself, 1,000,000%, and for the, hundreds, thousands of people I've gotten to work with, I found that when you implement the process of actually tracking your goals and actually mapping it out and living the Monday starts on Sunday lifestyle, which really means that you're going to prepare today for tomorrow. You're going to allow yourself to go to bed satisfied because you worked your tail off today to achieve what you wanted. You did almost everything that you set out to do, or all of it. You recognized it, you felt good about it. Then you planned out for tomorrow. So that again, you went to bed satisfied and you woke up determined. That's how you tackle the world in front of you. And then it's this constant repetition, right? Track it. What did I accomplish? Measure it. How much did I accomplish? And then adjust it. And do that daily. Okay, every single day. And that's where I'll go right back to the top on this one, right? We think about the month of January, and I ask you, how much did you accomplish? Or did you not accomplish? How was it for you? Did you get it all done? Again, did you track it? February is on us right now. Whatever you did or didn't do in January, quite frankly, it's over. This right now is your mental reset. This right now is the way that you are going to absolutely smash the month of February. This way, when we get to this spot again, at the end of February, rolling into March, you can look back, and when I ask you the question about what did you accomplish, you can look back and go, dude, I killed it. I had an amazing month. Which, guess what? If you're focused on you, you're focused on your business, you're focused on your family, you're probably making more money, you're living healthier, again, you're spending more time with family, and you're a lot happier. This takes discipline. Just thinking about it, just going, yeah, I know what I want. No. Yeah, I know what I did. No. You got to mark this shit down. You got to track it every single day, every 24 hours. You got to be looking at that thing. Remind yourself what it is. Tattoo those goals in your brain. Then do everything you have to do every single day to make sure that you are optimizing the time that you've put aside to conquer those goals. This is how you get your shit together before the entire year slips away. It's exactly what I'm giving you right now. And look, I know the market, some people could argue it's bad. Some people could say it's not bad, which could mean they think it's good. I think it's normal. And I remind you, I've been playing in the sandbox for 17 plus years. I've been licensed for almost that amount of time. I've been working within the industry for that long. Before that, I grew up in a real estate office when my father owned his own brokerage. I've been around this game forever. And I'll tell you that over the past few years when houses were selling 30, 60, 90 seconds, that wasn't normal. That was nothing but, that wasn't even close to normal. That was abnormal. That was beyond abnormal. Now that things are sitting 30 to 60 to 90 days, take a chill pill, relax. It's a good market. Like it's a normal market. Just because you don't say, hi, I'm in real estate and put out one social media ad or one post and all of a sudden people are like, oh my God, I got to sell my house. It doesn't mean things are bad. Now you got time to negotiate a deal. Now you got time to write conditions and protect your clients. But now you also got to work. You actually have to make your phone calls, do your follow-up, connect with people, meet new clients. I was on stage the other day And I'd asked this group, there was probably about 200 people in the room. And I'd like right there in front of everybody, I said, okay, I'm going to ask you a question. I want you to put your hand up. Okay. And from which one you're seeing. And so it was something like this. And again, not verbatim. I don't remember exactly how we went about it, but it basically said this. I said, how many people here see the majority, and we'll say 70 to 90% of their business from group number one? And group number one is the people that know us, like us, and trust us. That contact list, those referral sources. How many of you see 70 to 90% of your business from that group? Put your hand up right now. And you could even do this as you're listening to this. Like if you see most of your business from group one, put up your hand. Okay. Now, if your hand is up, I want you to leave it in the air. And this is exactly what I said to people from the stage the other day. Again, about 200 people in the room. So if your hand is up, leave it up. What I want you all to do right now while your hands are up, and this will kind of stop with you because if you're listening to this in the car by yourself, it's going to probably nobody else around you has their hand up, but stay with me here. I told everybody in the audience, put your hands up and look around. And as they looked around, and I mean, I could see it from the stage, but as people looked around, it was that reassurance that in this business, that is exactly where their deals come from. Pardon me, that's exactly where your deals come from. It's your contact list. So then I did the exact same thing, but I did, the opposite. And I said, okay, put your hands down. Thank you. Anybody who sees most of their business for group number two, put your hand up. No word of a lie. Like I shit you not when I say this. And there's always going to be some people in the room that don't put their hand up for anything because they just don't want to be involved. They're too cool for school. But here's the deal. One person put up his hand. One. And I said to him, listen, not bad. And I see a lot of opportunities there and you're not doing anything wrong, but just keep your hand up for me, please. I said, everybody look around. And I told him to look around too. He was the one guy in a room of 200 people that would see most of his business from group number two, the strangers. So think about that. And I know that that's the way it works. Like 9 out of 10, probably 9.5, maybe even 9.9 out of 10 people that we will ask that question to will always say that their business comes from group number one. So I want you to keep that in mind as well. Whether you did or didn't have the month from a financial perspective that you wanted to have in the month of January, don't give up. Instead, focus. Think about the 7 different ways to communicate with people. And if you have no idea what they are, seriously, go to my website. Here's a free gift for you. Go over to mindshare101.com, click on the Ultimate Marketing Bundle, and download that today. I want you to know what the 7 ways to communicate are. You have to be leveraging all 7 ways on a consistent basis. Now, when we talk about mapping out marketing plans and budgets and frequencies, and which one should I use and how do I automate and make it better and more seamless, that's all stuff that I work with my one-to-one coaching clients on. And I invite you, get in touch if you want to talk one-to-one. We're doing some amazing things where we're seeing people change their entire lives. And I can help you with that too. All that said, when you're thinking about marketing and you're thinking about what you're doing on a daily basis, and again, if you didn't necessarily have the best financial month of January, or you did, but you still want to do more, love it. Me too. Think about what you're doing every single day with your time and how much of that time you're dedicating to income producing activities, IPAs. Because it's those IPAs that are the action steps to getting more business, which means more money in your pocket. You've got to be in touch with group number one on a consistent basis. That's where your business is coming from. So again, market good, market bad, market normal, doesn't matter. Do not let the media dictate what you're going to be doing. Do not let the media dictate what February is going to look like. And yes, for all of those people right now that are maybe thinking about doing something, now is the time. Now is your time. Beyond that, you want to drive more leads? It's not about spending money. Don't be a sheeple. Yeah, tech can be helpful, but it's not where your deals are coming from. The technology is simply support. And quite frankly, for a lot of the people that I'm speaking to, It's back to the old school now. The successes are coming from people talking about new leads they've met at open houses that walked in without an agent. The successes are coming from, door knocking, going out and actually seeing people, connecting with people in person, making phone calls and doing follow-ups. I don't hear a ton of people talking about online lead generation and social media ads. And I mean, think about this, okay? Put this in perspective, logic. The media continues to paint doom and gloom, right? They're telling our clients, they're telling everybody, hey, the market's not good. Everything's this and that, and interest rates are up, yada, yada, yada. And they're stopping people from spending money. So think about that. When you talk to your clients, and so many of them are like, yeah, we're just going to wait it out a little bit. I'm just waiting. And you're thinking to yourself, like, waiting for what? Let's go, giddy up, get your shit together. But you can't really say it like that. But that's what you're thinking, right? Like, waiting for what? Well, think about that, right? The media, who's controlling the narrative, goes out and talks about the negative. You need to step up and talk about the positive. Through your, again, communication and your education, people will position you as somebody who knows what's going on. Now, the extension to that, though, as the media's painted the doom and gloom and people are waiting, well, if all you're doing is running ads online, naturally, there's less people clicking on those ads because everybody's waiting. So what does that mean? What does that cause you to do? Right. Causes you to wait. And I know you, kind of, you know me. I don't want to wait. I got to imagine you don't want to wait. We want like more business, like we want it now, right? Okay, if you just said right with me right there, like, do you want more business now? Yes or no? Say it. Yes or no? Okay, good. Yes. Perfect. So don't wait. Don't be reactive. Instead, be proactive. Know what you got to do. Get out there and connect with people. Don't just spend money running ads, hoping people are going to click on it because, again, everybody's waiting. Nobody's clicking on this shit. The numbers are dwindling. They're dropping hard like a brick out of the sky. But again, when you pick up that phone and you call that person who knows you, likes you, and trusts you, and you talk to them and you educate them, they may not necessarily want to do something right then and there or at all in the near future. But you know what? They're going to feel more empowered because you were in touch with them. And remember, referrals come in all shapes and sizes. So again, don't be a sheeple. Technology could be helpful, but today it's all about the old school, and that's exactly where people are getting their business from. I'm sure that's where you've gotten most of your business from. The real in-person stuff. Everything else is simply support. So check this, okay? You got 11 months to go right now. You still got time to turn this entire ship around. There's still so much time to take over. And what I don't want you to do right now is to give up and look back on January and think to yourself, I just didn't accomplish. I didn't do enough. It's just not going my way, because that's just going to bring you down. What I want you to do right now is I want you to use this episode right here of the Mindshare podcast to light you up. I want to be the gasoline that you pour on your fire to get you to your next level. To empower you to take the 11 months ahead of you and absolutely crush them. Win at all costs. Dedicate yourself to that mission so that you will look back at the end of this year in that mirror and look at yourself and say, hell yeah, we did it. So your action steps. Map out those goals. And maybe you did that before January. You just didn't pay attention in January. I want you to go back to those right now. I want you to start mapping those into your schedule on a daily basis. Monday starts on Sunday. Live it, breathe it, own it. And remember, it's not going to be easy. It's not. But your discipline is what's going to push through. The fact that you're going to do the hard stuff that most people won't do, because that's exactly what it takes. It takes doing what they won't do so you can have what they won't have because you did it. Effort produces results. You put in the effort and you will get the results. You're either listening to this on one of your favorite podcast platforms, or maybe you went to my website, mindshare101.com. And while you're there, be sure to download your free copy of the Ultimate Marketing Bundle, our 31-page ebook, including your free 90-day social media content calendar to help you build more mind share so that you get more market share. A reminder as well that if you want to talk about personalized one-to-one coaching, an in-person keynote talk for your upcoming event, and or ongoing virtual momentum training, just get in touch with me. We'll set up a free consultation call, learn more about what you're looking to achieve and how we will help you do just that. Don't forget, enter your name in the draw to win some free swag by simply leaving a review of this podcast. You can go to iTunes, you can go to Spotify, or you can also go to ratethispodcast.com/mindshare101. If we haven't yet, connect with me on Facebook at Mindshare101 and on Instagram at David Greenspan101. I want to thank Kits Keep in Touch Systems, Gree Media, and REM Magazine for sponsoring the Mindshare podcast. Be sure to visit our site to learn more about what these powerful companies will do to help you grow your business. This has been another episode of the Mindshare podcast. Thank you for tuning in.